And pursuant to notice, I now call up H.Res. 260, requesting the President to transmit to the House of Representatives not later than 14 days after the date of the adoption of this resolution, documents or other materials in the President's possession relating to Iraq's weapons of mass destruction for the purpose of markup, and move its unfavorable recommendation to the House. Without objection, the resolution will be considered as read and open for amendment at any point, and the Chair yields himself 5 minutes for purposes of the statement. On June 5th, Mr. Kucinich of Ohio introduced H.Res. 260, a resolution of inquiry requesting the President to transmit to the House of Representatives documents in the President's possession relating to Iraq's weapons of mass destruction. Mr. Kucinich's resolution requests that the President transmit to Congress specific evidence for 10 claims by senior administration officials relating to Iraq's weapons of mass destruction. Prior to the introduction of the pending resolution on May 22nd, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, otherwise known as HPSI, formally initiated a far more comprehensive review of these issues than could occur in any of our offices in response to the simple production of paper as called for in H.Res. 260. The DCI's ongoing and timely transmittal of relevant intelligence information to the HPSI, and the HPSI's vote granting access to the information to any member of the House render moot, as a matter of substance, the sponsor's resolution of inquiry. The HPSI is especially well suited to handle these highly classified documents and conduct this review. For this committee to duplicate the HPSI efforts in collecting the same documents would be a waste of time and taxpayers' money. It is in no one's interest, least of all this committee, to collect a second set of intelligence documents. Any member who avails himself or herself of the opportunity to see the materials HPSI is collecting will see at least the same materials that would be produced under this resolution. Consequently, it's my intention to have H.Res. 260 reported adversely, and I now turn to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Lantos, for any remarks he may wish to make. Those of you who are reluctant to vote against the Kucinich resolution, I would suggest take a pass, vote present, because I am reluctant to give the Kucinich resolution vitality when it does not deserve vitality. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I would like to express some reservations on voting this resolution unfavorably. And I listened carefully to the ranking member's arguments, and in many ways I think he makes a good point that this is a moot vote that we're making here today. I've also listened carefully to the chairman's statement about the possible advice to those who have deep concern about this vote, considering even voting present, indicating that maybe this is a partisan fight rather than a real fight over a serious issue. I work on a few basic assumptions. I happen to believe that personal privacy is the essence of all liberty. I happen to also believe that government secrecy is the enemy of liberty. So therefore, I have a great deal of concern about what is going on in the government. I believe that the Congress and certainly the people have the right to know what's going on. And the more secrecy in government, the worse off the people are. We've been in Iraq now for 13 years. My big concern is if we don't fully understand all the ramification of what has happened and what is going on and what could happen, there are predictions, and it would not be unbelievable to expect us to be in Iraq for another 13 years. That should concern all of us. Now, I believe that this right is a basic right. It's stated very clearly in the Declaration of Independence that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the government, which means that the people tell the government what they're allowed to do, and therefore the people do have this basic right to know. But this issue is a little bit more confusing, especially when you look at the possibility that what we're doing here is literally a moot. I would like to take a minute to address the subject of partisanship. I would hope that I have a little bit of credibility on arguing about partisanship as compared to some others. But I think all issues, every piece of legislation should be done on the merits. I for one, disapprove of narrow partisan arguments, and yet I'm afraid this is what is happening today. If we took this resolution, if it is a moot resolution, I could throw that argument back to the side who's opposing the Kucinich resolution. Well, why not vote for it? We've already done it, so it has no meaning. And just pass it, instead of using it as an argument, let's not do it because we've already done it. So you could use it to pass the resolution. But evidently there's a lot of partisan argument and maneuvering going on here, which of course makes me very, very uncomfortable.
Would the gentleman yield?
I would be glad to yield.
The gentleman is known as a watchdog over the Treasury, and does the gentleman have an idea what it would cost to deliver thousands and thousands of documents to the chambers of this committee and maintain security over them 24 hours a day?
If the gentleman would yield back, I don't know exactly, but I do not believe the number of dollars would be the determining factor here if it's a legitimate function of government. My main concern is the function of government when it's illegitimate, and when we spend those dollars, I quite frequently will vote against those. So I am still, deliberating this in my own mind, what is best, and I've certainly listened to the advice of both sides, but indeed, in many ways, I wished we could be nonpartisan and philosophic about this, and I will just continue to listen and sort it out, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Mr. Tancredo votes yes. Mr. Paul? Mr. Paul votes present. Mr. Smith?
Clerk will report.
On this vote, there are 23 ayes, 15 noes, and 3 present.
The ayes then have it, and the motion to report.
Mr. Chairman, a point of parliamentary inquiry.
The motion to report unfavorably is adopted.